From Tombstone, Arizona to Hell's Kitchen, New York. From Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina to Deadwood, South Dakota. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour, talking trucking with Deaton and Doty. What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Russ?
Welcome to episode 28. The big 2-8.
How's it going?
Thanks for joining us today, Nikki Bessette, VP of Transport from Billings, Montana, in studio.
Hello, I am.
Can we get her on camera?
Yeah. Hang on, let me rig that up.
We'll hold off on that.
We got some drivers on the show with us today. Joining us this week, Ray, as always, Jim Mackey, Kevin Lewis, Nate Garner, Sammy. Sammy used to work for us, and he is headed back our way, getting a truck next week.
With a joke.
And he's got jokes. In the studio, Vice President, like I said, of Transport, Nikki Bessette. Trucking News with Ian Dunlap. Wide World of Sports with Joel Howle.
United States.
Florida Man, Mike Doty. Drivers Battle Kumar with Trucking Questions and with Kumar. And this week on the show, Nikki Bessette is going to read the Trucking Questions with Kumar. And I think she prepared a song for us on the last question.
I think you prepared a song.
Yes, she did.
Congratulations again to our fishing contest winners. We sent their cards out. CJ Sneed and the Sneed family, they win everything. We're the champions. And Boo Candace, runner-up from Alaska. Congratulations, you guys. We were real happy that you guys got your cards. And the Pick'em contest and the beard contest, if you can't tell, is going full speed ahead. My beard's 3 weeks old. It's getting long. It's getting itchy. Christian looks like a chia pet. Yeah, and Joel just looks gray.
Wow.
He's going for the Santa Claus this year.
Yeah.
Sammy.
We have 3 Santa Clauses on here by Christmas.
Sammy, are you there?
No belly.
Sam, are you there?
Lost him.
Yeah.
Lost him. Oh, there he is. Hey, welcome to the show. Your first time on Talkin Truckin with Dean and Doty.
Yeah.
That was Ray.
He's muted.
A couple things, couple shout-outs. Today's episode of Talkin Truckin is brought to you by Truckworx Kenworth of Dothan, Alabama. Over-the-road apparel, work clothes for the modern-day trucker. Prime Wellness and Performance in San Antonio, Texas. Louis Vasquez's place. Super Bowl 50 champion, number 65 with the Denver Broncos. Al's Quality Market in Barberton, our judge for the fishing contest, and our good friend, Denny. The Gator Drive-Thru in Portage Lakes, Ohio. Thanks, Mike, the owner, for making a $125 donation to our St. Jude's fund that we're going to send before Christmas. That was very thoughtful and giving. Mike, we appreciate that. So the Gator Drive-Thru, thank you. And be sure to like and subscribe. So on the show today, I wanted to go over the worst load ever booked by our staff. And Joel can handle this. So we had a new driver, picked up a power-only load from Columbus, Ohio. Right, Joel? Columbus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Went down. His trailer wasn't ready, so he had to go in the shop. We didn't know it till he got eyes on it. So we did a power-only round trip. So it was loaded going down, paid really well. Joel got that. And then he delivered in Hattiesburg. And I actually walked into Joel's office and I said, Joel, Hattiesburg's a good area. Well, I run out of there with Jesse a lot in a reefer. I didn't really look at the van rates down there. Doty was on the phone with me and he said, I don't know if that's a good area coming out, getting back to Ohio. So Joel looked and then said, it's not. I said, well, Joel, just shoot him short to a better area. Let's go to Memphis, somewhere in Arkansas. We got a little time. A couple hours later, Joel comes outside and he goes, hey, I got our driver booked. I'm not going to mention his name. And I said, oh, cool. What'd you get him? He said, just short, like you said, and then we'll run him up to Ohio. I got how many miles was it, Ian? From
Like 200 miles. So.
Yeah, it was like a little over 200 miles.
By the way, we didn't do the load.
Right. Well, Joel's already jumping in
225 miles.
225 miles.
Laurel, Mississippi, up to Haleyville, Alabama.
He has to be back in Columbus
right.
today.
So I said, cool.
So
I said, well, Alabama, you should be able to get something out of there, and it's northern Alabama, so that's a little better getting back to Ohio. And I said, what'd you get for it, Joel? He goes, 650. I said 650. He's in a full service lease truck.
Oh, hey, time out. In his defense, is that per mile?
I said, Joel, what if he gets detained on one end or the other? Now we're a day on a 650 load.
That's a good point.
If he doesn't get detained, but what if he gets detained on one end or the other? Now you got 2 days on a load for 6. I said they saw you coming, and it was just we're not. And Joel and I have a relationship where we can. He talks about me and I talk about him. He's thick-skinned. He can handle it, but I think it was the worst load of the year. So, and
of the year,
he did get saved though.
I think way back in January or February.
There's probably some
There's probably some worse ones.
I
booked
maybe.
a $500 load maybe somewhere back
Well,
there.
Skeletons are coming out of the closet, guys. This is a good
We'll
show.
have to look back.
Guys, we always talk about all the good stuff and everything, but, I'm keeping it real with you, too. And, Joel wasn't thinking about if he gets detained. He was thinking, hey, we just a short hop over to here, get a better load going up to Ohio. So
something
Austin,
did happen with the load before,
the
right?
load before he was on, he got detained. He called Austin, our night dispatcher. Austin immediately called Ian and I and said, hey, he's detained on his load, but this next load he's got, it is garbage.
Yeah, I was like, let's cancel that and find something for
Yeah, and so he let him know, the people know on the load, the 650 load, that our driver was being detained. He wouldn't make the delivery or the pickup. It was that night.
Yeah, both.
And he couldn't have made the pickup. However, the guy said, well, we can load him tomorrow. Do you want to just stay on it? And Austin was like, no, we're okay. He might be detained all day tomorrow. So
In Joel's defense, if it was a truck order not used, that's still 23% of the entire rate. So
right,
3,800 going down and back.
Depend how long he got detained, it might have been more than the rate.
absolutely.
That's funny.
The moral of the story is don't
Don't
So-
book cheap.
short loads. Cheap.
Anyway, Joel, tell him what you got. Joel did recover his stuff, like 800 miles for what, 24 or
It's
23?
2250
2250.
from the deep south.
From right where he was
And
at,
he's-
right up to Ohio
And
where he
he,
needed
he
it.
has to drop the trailer 2 day, so he made it.
He made it. He had to get that power only off him, and he's getting to his trailer. But
So far.
yeah. So
Thank you. Joel.
good job figuring it out, Joel. And
Got the rebound.
yeah.
All right.
The moral of the story is, look, we have our equipment. That was a brand new truck. It's a full service lease truck. You can't put, really, honestly, I've put $900 on a load or on a truck this week on a short load for AC.
Where at?
But, it was like on 125 miles or something like that.
That's good.
And it was a straight through run. But really, it's hard to put under $1,000 a day on a truck because you don't know what's going to happen. Even if it's 100, 200 miles, they get detained. Anything can happen, and then you're into 2 days on a brand new truck that you go try and buy them these days. You got to pay over sticker. So,
well, that's what always on those short mile loads. If somebody would, when I have trucks posted or whatever, and call me, $500 or whatever it is, I'll say, can I run 2 or 3 in a day? On the real short mile ones.
Yeah. That's,
and above and beyond that, I like, somebody else, it was 200 something miles, I think, from, I don't know, east of Atlanta to west of Birmingham. And, I told him like 1250 or something. He's like, where are you coming up with that rate? He asked me. I said, low miles, I'm just going with a day rate. I could care less about the rate per mile. I'm going to shoot you pretty much at the day rate.
The equipment costs me so much a day. And, and I tell guys that too, because Ian and I book a few guys in our office that are home regularly. And so during the week, like AC, I'm looking for 200-mile runs for as much as I can get out of it. Sometimes we get lucky and get 12, 1400. But these are really short. He runs them in 3 hours. But they take a whole day because the appointment, he might get down there and sit. Their appointments for the next morning. Sometimes we get lucky and he goes straight through and gets delivered. But you can't put, and he's not in a full service lease truck, so his equipment costs are a little lower. He owns his truck. But still, you got to put $1,000 a day on a truck. And I tell anybody that we're working with, hey, I divide my equipment costs, and I usually use the example of a full service lease truck. Divide it by 7, and that's how much you need to put on it, your equipment and everything. My equipment costs this much, so that's where it starts. And then I got fuel, and then I got a driver that's got to get paid. So come on, man.
Come
on,
on,
man.
Come on,
That's
Joel.
not
It's
me
a
in the background, by
for-profit
the way.
business venture.
Even if you're not in a full service lease now, I mean, with the maintenance and everything else, you're probably close to right there if you're putting money away for repairs.
especially
That was another thing.
maintenance. I mean, my truck's paid for, the one Jesse drives, but when I make $3,000 or more on that truck, which is pretty regular, I'm taking half of it. I'll pay Jesse, and sometimes I'm taking $1,000, $1,500, and I'm throwing in the reserve because guess what? Even though I just spent $8 or $9,000 on the truck, things break. I'm gonna have to have the money to pay for it. So whether you're in a lease truck that's full service and you don't have to worry about it, you still, or you're in your own truck, your maintenance costs are more. So your cost per day is probably, like you said, Mike, about the same.
We had talked about that about 6 weeks ago. On your cost per week is going to be between $900 to $1,100 a week, right? Either going to have a lease and some accidental things that pop up. You're going to have a truck payment and a $500 escrow or better a week. Or if your truck's paid for, you still have a $500 escrow and then $300 to $500 for fleet replacement.
Yeah.
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 You brought that up. I remember that. It was about.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got off the phone with Kenworth up there, and speaking of which, they're almost done putting my new motor in. They actually got it in, but the timing's off. They got to pull it back out. They expected it to be done this week, but it's probably going to be another week or so. But yeah, that right there, $52,000
for a new motor. And now, Mike, you did make a lot of money with that truck, but the truck's paid for. You can't go out and buy a Kenworth T680. What year is that? 16 or 15, Mike?
15.
Yeah, you'd have to pay $75,000 for that truck, and that's not with a new motor. So it's worth it for him to put the motor in it. It may take, through the rest of this next year to recoup that money, but you're going to recoup it, and then you're going to have a truck with no miles. You got a crate motor,
Yeah, it's a factory. It's 2-year warranty.
Yeah.
Oh no! So
I know it hurt to spend it, but it was the smart move in that situation for sure. We talked about it before you did it.
Yeah. I almost wonder if I should have looked into putting a different, like a cat motor in there, but then I was thinking, man, the cost of changing it, I'm sure there'd be cost, with the EC, nothing would match up to it. You'd have to replace everything.
There would be. And if you ever have a ghost electronically, you're just chasing it and got huge downtime. Yeah.
So just putting the same motor, brand new, warranty. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, Joel, the Pick'em contest, NFL football, full swing.
By the way, no mention of that Washington to Pennsylvania load, huh?
Well, why don't you? Joel wants to talk about his best load of the year.
Best load of his life.
Yeah. And it just happens to be, and like I said, we're always glad to be a Meadow Lark agent. It just happens to be a Meadow Lark customer load.
It was 83 bones.
83 bones.
Save the day.
$8,300. What was the miles, Joel?
I don't know, 28 maybe? 28?
2,800
25,000 pounds.
Yeah. And that was a good load.
Save the week. Yeah.
Joel was all
So whose
over it.
customer was that? Just so we hear
that
that
for
again.
charity?
Whose customer?
That was.
Yeah,
that was
Meadow
Meadow
Lark.
Lark.
Meadow Lark. There it is.
Who was
Joel.
Who is on the agency side?
Yeah.
Whose load was it?
Was it Christy?
Christie's.
It might have been Christy.
Does she run out of there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I gotta
Joel doesn't
double
know.
check on that. I talked to her for 5 minutes. I don't know her name.
excited.
Sorry about
It's
that.
He got so excited he was doing laps around the office. He doesn't know who he talked to. He's just like, Ian, please get this.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, that was great. But anyway, Joel, let's talk.
I think it was one of the new girls. I
Okay.
don't know.
Talk some sports.
Yeah. So our pick'em contest, Nikki, we got a bunch of us picking not against the spread. It's just straight up football winners. The loser each week has to pay the pot on the trucking questions with Kumar for the St. Jude's donation. So, Joel, who is the loser?
All right, drum roll. The loser for week 6 is a split between Dawson and Truck Lines.
Yes.
Not again.
You look on his face, he knew it. He had a bad week. Dawson and Johnny Leave. Johnny 5.
Johnny 5. He's
But Johnny, since I already lost one, you can take the full credit for this one.
And
All right.
So that's 20 each. They're not splitting it.
Yeah.
So Johnny, you owe another 20 to the St. Jude's pot if Kumar loses, and Christian will owe another 20. And if it's a tie and we have to have a tiebreaker, you guys got to double down. So it'd be 40 each. And I do too. So if my drivers lose,
Who
I
won
got
that?
it.
He's the house.
I
I'm
think
the house.
Ray won that
No,
one.
Ray got DQ'd. So did
He
you.
did.
Ray
Right.
picked Ray would have won. Ray, and I think I told you this. Ray, he went 10-6, so no one had a great week. But Ray turned his sheet in a day late, and the games were already picked. They played.
So did Ian.
And so did Ian, and Ian would have tied for second.
Threw the flag on you, Ray. Bring it back.
Yeah,
But
so
you've
I
already.
I don't know anything about football, and I
Yeah.
did that well.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that
So
brings me to
the winner,
Ian and Zach right here.
No,
in
it
our
was
No.
Burke.
office.
It was me and Burke.
Ian and Burke.
And
Zach and Burke.
Yes. Oh no.
Ian was DQ'd.
And Burke.
Ian
So
was DQ, so it would have been
Christian,
Zach
Mike,
and Burke.
Joel, how do you think we do this? So Berkowitz and Zach won. Do we just give them both a half?
No, you flip a coin.
I mean-
just like you start a game, just flip a coin and pick heads or tails.
Flip a coin.
Arm
Yeah.
wrestle.
So
Yeah,
okay.
because when you do these picks, you do like a Monday night points or something, just
Yeah,
in case there is a
spread.
Yeah,
tie.
just, yeah.
Yeah, spread.
That's what we should do, Russ. Is
Uh-oh.
the spread
So-
on Monday night.
I got a number in my head. You want to do that, or you want to flip a coin? No.
7.
So I didn't pick a number in my head. Oh. Who's got a coin? Let's flip a coin. Get this over.
I got a
with.
whole jar over there.
Okay, Nikki Bessette. We trust Nikki.
Oh, wait,
Well,
no, they're not on my desk.
It needs to be
Where
on
they
camera
at?
to make it official.
Yeah. Or we
Yep,
can.
on camera only.
Let me go get a quarter.
He's gonna go get a
Go
quarter.
on. Keep talking.
Berkowitz or Zach Kern.
So just as filler, are we going to talk about the Denver game while we're waiting on a quarter?
So the Denver game tomorrow.
Denver game.
Tomorrow
The
night
Denver game.
in
Denver
Cleveland.
Browns.
Baker Mayfield's all shook up. He probably won't play. Nick Chubb's out, our running back. Kareem Hunt's out. We're banged up. I mean, I could wear my Browns hat and a sling on my arm.
I feel like
and-
you're giving
Right.
excuses right now, Russ.
Yeah,
So,
I just picked the Browns on the picks I turned in.
yeah, me too. I need to send over a
Thanks,
revised
thanks,
email.
guys. Thanks for that.
so Nikki's in town, and we're going. She did some training here in our office for a couple days with Carol and Kelly.
And quarterback tomorrow night.
And then she's going to work with us a little bit tomorrow, and then we're going to go to the game tomorrow night. And so Nikki's coming to the game with all her Denver Broncos gear at
Oh, yes.
Cleveland
All day.
Stadium. It's gonna be
Really?
interesting.
I'm not scared.
It's a rough place. All right, so
Scissor guys.
Berkowitz
Cleveland.
and
Tails.
Let's do this.
you want tails?
I want tails.
Whoa, I thought Nikki. Whoa, I thought. All right.
Well, yeah, someone else has to flip
He
it.
wanted it on camera.
No, it has to be a third party.
Okay, I agree. So Nikki, here's the coin.
Oh my gosh.
On camera.
Break the screen.
So she has to flip it. We don't have a camera to
I don't
move.
have a camera
We
move.
trust her.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
You guys trust her?
What do you call Zach?
Oh,
He said tails.
Survey said.
heads.
Heads. Berkowitz
Story of
wins.
my life.
right there,
Berkowitz
Zach.
has 2 wins.
Red or
2
black?
wins. So
Burke.
what was the total so far, Joel? Berkowitz have 2 wins.
Yeah, Kumar won.
Kumar has
2,
1. Christian has 1.
Burke has 2. Christian has 1. Ray has
and
1.
Ray has 1.
You bet.
Wow, Berkowitz is leading.
Yeah.
This is for some big. This is for some big money because we're putting.
If he wins, I'm
It's
splitting.
$5 a week, which is going to be about $40 a guy. There's about 11 or 12, 13 of us in it. So the first half of the season, after week 9, somebody's going to get 400 and some bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do this second half.
Wait, how many weeks of football?
And there's
Not
another.
enough.
17.
Yeah, there's 17 weeks.
And playoffs.
So Nikki, it's not too late. You can get in this every week with us.
I'm in one in Billings in the home
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I forgot to do mine last
We're
week,
trying to
so
get you in
I'm,
for- we need
I'm
the extra
falling
money.
quickly.
All right, so Joel,
All right.
let's talk a little sports.
Talk a little sports. Let's stay on the NFL. Here in October, it is a baseball, football kind of atmosphere. In the NFL standings over in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills lead 4-2 record.
Buffalo is no joke.
Buffalo lost
Buffalo
Monday
looks
night.
good. I know,
did
I
lose.
saw that. But they lost because they went for it on
They-
4th down
bad
on the
call.
goal line. I don't know if it was the best call. They could have kicked a field goal and went into overtime, and I clearly had the better team.
You'll see them.
How much time was left?
Like 4 seconds, 3 seconds, no, yeah. And they were on the goal line. It was like
Literally.
He
yeah.
literally,
It was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Fourth and
actually
inches.
4th and
Inches.
inches. and they
got
tried a
stuffed?
quarterback sneak, and he got stuffed. But everybody knew what they were going to do, so it was a bad call.
They should've
Unless you're a
put that
Seattle
time.
fan, and then you're like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, right?
Run on the field.
All right, Joel, sorry.
All right, AFC over in the north. Baltimore. Nasty Baltimore leads 5-1.
I love it.
In the south, Tennessee with their big victory Monday night takes the reins at 4-2. In the west, LA Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders tied 4-2 over in the NFC. In the east, them boys, Dallas Cowboys, 5-1.
How about them Cowboys?
Throw it a wall. In the north, Cheeseheads, Green Bay, 5-1.
Berkey.
Down south, the T-shirt, Tampa Bay, leads 5-1, and out west, the only unbeaten team, Arizona, at 6-0.
Man, they looked good when they came in here. It was like they could just do what they wanted.
They stomped a mud hole.
Kyler Murray
at
is
will.
no joke.
He's no joke. That dude is no joke.
Who was that? Who's 6-0?
Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona.
Really?
Rams right behind
Wow.
them, 5-1.
I didn't know that.
Staying in football, moving over to the NCAA. We're going to go from
And
10
Mike,
down.
just so wait, on that note, Tampa Bay and Arizona
Tampa
are
Bay.
both NFC. So the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through probably one or the other in the NFC. So don't think that Tampa Bay is going to do it again.
I think the Super Bowl's at 75.
I think
this
it's
year,
too hard.
LA.
It's just so hard.
What
to
city is
repeat.
that in, Joe?
It's
Dubai.
LA. Yeah.
You want to put a side wager on that, Russ?
Kabul.
What's that?
You want to put a side wager that they get there?
A side bet?
Yeah, a little side bet.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona.
You'll
In
take
the- I'm
Arizona.
talking about in the NFC.
You,
I got Arizona all day long. I don't think for a minute that Tampa Bay is going
I bet
again.
Cleveland will win the Super Bowl.
Sounds good. So how about we just say if Tampa Bay goes to the Super Bowl, we'll just do a little 50 bet.
Okay, $50, and let's make it better. Whoever
State,
loses
here we go.
throws it into the St. Jude's.
St. Jude's? Yep,
St.
that sounds
Jude's.
good. Yep.
Okay, so I'll take Tampa Bay doesn't make it to the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter about Arizona. You got them going.
That's it. I got them
You're
going.
on.
You got them going all the way
You're
through
on.
the tournament.
Brady.
All right.
That's
All
it.
right.
Bet on Brady.
This day, what's
He's
this,
old.
the 20?
yeah,
Remember
he carries that chip on his shoulder for life, right?
That's right.
Constantly, every interview, that he talks about, or somebody mentions how late he was picked in the draft, and then
Sixth round pick.
New England letting him go, and I think he carried that chip down here to Tampa on his shoulder and went to the Super Bowl. I mean, the guy is crazy
But he ain't going back to the Super Bowl.
I just
No.
can't believe it.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
All right.
All right. Well, note
Browns.
that. October 20th.
Joel, who's the
side
clown behind your picture?
bet. Not me. That would be Mr. Kyrie Irving.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Not Dr. J.
I
thought
thought
it was
when we
Dr.
get
J.
into politics, I thought we were going to get into politics.
Kyrie.
All right. So Christian and Russ with a side bet here on the anniversary of the Leonard Skinner plane crash. Moving on.
Was that today?
Yeah, it was today. 44 years.
Really?
Oh man, R.I.P.
Yep.
Crazy.
Rest in peace. Over in the NCAA, Week 7, the 10th ranked Oregon Ducks at UCLA Saturday at 3:30. Number 9, Michigan State is idle.
Man, how far Oregon slid. I mean, they were like number 3 until they. And
Look at Iowa. They're the worst number 2 ever. I mean, that's what
yeah, Iowa too.
So MSU idle. They got their rival Michigan next week. Number 8, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State at Iowa State Saturday 3:30. Number 7, Penn State at home against Illinois. That game is at noon. Number 6, Michigan at home against Northwestern. That's a Saturday game at noon next week. Michigan State. Number 5, Ohio State at Indiana Saturday. That's an evening game, 7:30. Number 4, the Tide from Alabama versus the Tennessee Vols Saturday, 7 p.m. Number 3 ranked Oklahoma Sooners at Kansas Saturday, noon. Number 2, Cincinnati Bearcats at Navy Saturday, noon. And number 1, Georgia Bulldogs idle this week. Next week, take on the Gators down at the world's largest cocktail in Jacksonville. That'll be the Georgia-Florida game next week.
Joel,
Go
I'll
Dogs.
say I'm not a Cincinnati fan by no means. The Bengals, garbage.
You
The
like the
Reds,
Bearcats?
garbage. But I
like Luke Fickell.
Hey, look,
think
I
he's a good
like
program.
seeing this team being ranked number 2. They're not a big school. It's not. I mean, if they make the playoff, it'll be amazing. I think.
If they made the tourney today, they would play Oklahoma.
Yeah,
2 versus 3.
and they might beat them.
Who knows?
That team looked good. I watched them last Saturday.
Stay tuned. All right, moving over to baseball. We are hot in the playoffs. In the National League, the Braves missed a chance to go 3-0 yesterday. Blew a 3-run lead in the 8th inning. Home run from Corey Bellinger tied it 5-5. Mookie Betts with the go-ahead RBI in the 9th. Dodgers, they split the series. It's 2-1. Game 4 is tonight over in the American League. Game 5 going on right now in Boston. Boston tied up at 2. Houston was 7 runs in the 9th last night. Exploding their offense. We shall see. I think Atlanta, they really need a game. They got 2 more in LA. If they go 3-1, go back to Atlanta, we'll see. And over in the NBA, that just underway last night. Season just underway. Same with the NHL, 1 week underway. 2 conferences, 4 divisions. We don't really know much about it yet. And that is sports for this week, October 20th. What do you got, Russ?
Well, it's pretty exciting. I love basketball. The NBA's. I think they started last night, right, Nikki?
I thought it was tonight.
Cleveland
You guys
plays-
start tonight,
I think
yeah.
Milwaukee's 1-0. So
Yeah, they
so
started
they
last
started
night.
last night. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about some. I was talking to you, Nikki, earlier about the power rankings in the NBA, and here we go again. I looked today, and Cleveland was number 26 out of how many teams are there, Joel, in the NBA? Like 30 or something? 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30. They're ranked
We're
26.
ranked 26 in the power
Alright.
rankings, so
Yeah,
it's
just like the Browns.
that's how we're starting out our year here in Cleveland.
We're
but-
used to it.
But that's okay. I love watching basketball, and hey, it's anybody's game at the beginning of the season. So, are you a Denver Nuggets fan?
No, I'm a Lakers fan.
Lakers fan. Okay.
Have been
What
since I was
in the
little.
Yeah. So you're pretty happy. You know what? I like the Lakers now.
I
'cause
stay West Coast.
I'm still a LeBron fan.
Clippers.
I gotta stick with LeBron. I mean, he's from right here in Akron.
So baby crying?
Who's he playing for now?
Baby crying?
I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but I am a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
LeBron is playing for the Lakers, Ian.
Oh, thank you.
23.
They're buying a championship. This
Isn't he number 6 now with the headband too?
He's number 23.
I thought he changed his number.
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
he changed it too.
I think he did change it.
I could be
He
wrong.
gave it to Anthony. What's his
Yeah.
name?
Oh,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they just bought.
So
Paul
that
George.
just happened.
It happened this season because
see.
they couldn't do it last season.
Okay.
Yeah, follow the
That
sports
threw me.
news.
Yeah, Ian on the news.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. So before we get into the market with Christian and Doty and I
And Tom,
Tom, is Tom on?
he is.
Tommy,
He snuck in here somehow.
Tommy boy,
Yes, sir.
what's up? Boy, he was cranky
I
today.
just got on here because I figured I'd hear some bad things about me tonight, so I thought.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but he was cranky.
Yeah,
with
right.
all
Who
day.
sent you the link? Because I didn't.
He's got his.
Never
sources.
mind, I got away.
All right. All right.
Grand Funk
Thanks,
Railroad sent it to him.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin.
We're
You know,
in
it's
a
funny
man.
because Kevin just texted me. Tom called me, hang on, and then I'm something like that, and I just glanced at it, so I know how you got it now. Well, Tom, welcome back to the show. Tom's been doing pretty good. A little cranky with me today, but that's okay. I love him.
Always.
I think you brought it
Always.
on yourself.
Always cranky.
Always cranky.
In the middle of the night.
So, Tom, let's talk a little reefer stuff. We'll get this going because I know he has an early bedtime. He's not going to stay on here the whole show.
No, it's 6, man. I got to turn in pretty quick.
So what are you seeing, Tom? I know I was talking to you today. I'm going to go over a little bit of that Wisconsin potato stuff we talked about, but what else are we doing
Well-
reefer-wise?
Michigan's still booming. You know, trees are fixing to start in 10 days, 12 days.
Yeah.
The West Coast is still doing good. Dry vans, reefers, all the way to Washington. The rates are very comparable out of Washington and Cali right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Nogales is starting a little bit.
Well,
that
they're
I'm
moving.
seeing.
Speaking of Washington, Tom, they're moving a bunch of. It started last week. They started, or the week before. They're moving a lot of ships up there into some of those Seattle or into that Seattle port area, just because of the backlog. So I think that could have a lot to do with the rates being good coming outbound Seattle.
I think if they keep working these containers like they are trying to do, I see the West Coast just exploding with rates in the next 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
Just,
Tom,
you wouldn't think it'd get any higher, but I think it's going to go higher.
I'm going to go over this later in the show, Tom, but since you brought that up, there's 100 vessels at anchor as of Tuesday, up from 62 the week before. Another 24 ships expected to arrive in the next 1 to 3 days. It takes, and I talked about this last week, Tom. I forgot where are my notes, but it's typically, Ian, it was 11 days at anchor and then 3 to 5 days to unload. So it's not going to get any better. I 100% agree with you, Tom, that it's going to just keep stacking up.
Even the small ports, because we load out of with the containers out of Charleston area, those small ports are even backed way up.
You're stealing all my stuff, man. Tom, I said ocean carriers are shifting their sailings from Savannah, Georgia to the Charleston, South Carolina port. Just happened this week. They're starting to move it over. Yeah.
I saw
There's
another
a difference.
post.
Yeah, Florida man.
Oh, yeah. What were you talking about, Mike, Florida, today?
I saw
the
another
government.
post that said some ships have already started to reroute to Florida. I don't think it would be many. I don't know what they can accommodate down there, but they said some have already started to reroute to Florida. You got to think, if they're waiting that long to unload, that they could come
They
here
could
and
move
get
around.
unloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 days on average at anchor. Yeah, you could move
I guess
around.
we'll see. I would imagine it would push rates up some in Florida, but I don't think there's
We can
gonna.
hope.
I can't see that many ships rerouting to Florida, but who knows? It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
All the
that be
ships sitting out there.
fantastic?
What'd you say, Christian?
I said, wouldn't that be fantastic? Florida lights on fire as well, just coast to coast.
Yeah.
Florida is getting more ships because I got Meadow Lark on the drayage list down there for a few of the ports, and my emails are probably 30 to 40 a day. Can you please quote this? Can you please quote this? And I never got it like this before. Just in the last week, it started getting. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool to see how that works out with the rates down there.
Yeah.
So flatbeds, Tom, you want to talk a little bit about that? What do you think on where you've been sending our flats?
This has been a bad week for me in flatbeds, but
I know. And none of them.
we're
have the
doing
tarps.
okay.
Kevin, Nate, you with me?
Yeah, I'm up here.
Where's your tarps?
Oh, just get out.
They're at
I don't
home.
have
Sitting
any.
in the barn.
I forgot him.
In a gravel lot somewhere.
It's that time of year, Kev, Nate. It's easy in the summer to find those loads that are strap and go or chain and go, but it starts getting precipitation out. It's tough.
Weather Protect, it's called.
Yeah.
And like Meadow Lark hauls that tubing and stuff out of Ohio. You can't even haul that. Well, October 1st, I think it kicked in. They won't even load you if it's sunshining unless you
Yeah.
have tarps.
Yeah. Kevin and Nate, that's why I invited you on the show, to get you to bust you on not carrying tarps.
No.
And,
Well, Nathan's got tarps up there. I mean,
yeah. Oh, okay, good.
I don't have any.
You got a garage full of them here. All you got to do is come
It's
and
not
get
like
them.
you can't get them. So, what's going on down there in Georgia, though, Tom? How's the cabin coming along? You're just about done, aren't you?
We are done. Finally going there this weekend. Going to go hang out in the woods for 3 days and stay there.
Tom built a real nice cabin for the weekends for him and Judy. About an hour from his house. It's right on a lake, little dock slip there. So it'll be really nice. I'm going to come down there. He's been bugging me. He's a little. I think why he was cranky today, Nikki, is because you're in town, but he's been bugging me to come down now that the cabin's done, and I was supposed to take the time, and I haven't been able to yet. Maybe that's why he's a little jealous.
Well, yeah. Then our boss lady was 20 miles away and didn't even call me and say. So I passed the buck on the higher aboves.
Okay, so I didn't realize it was 20 miles. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, I'll come down anytime you want, but just invite me. I like to hunt fish. I'll pay for your ammo. That's a pretty good deal.
You don't know my arsenal. You cannot afford my ammo. We don't even want to go there.
He fishes with grenades. Okay, so let's start there.
Yeah.
If you could just give me the address with the postal zip code, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
So say.
Well, we call them fish bombs. They didn't classify if they have pins or not,
Tom's out there all camoed up. He's got his face painted green, and he's pulling clips, shooting me videos of blowing water up. Yeah, exactly.
Remember Caddyshack?
Well, Tom, I'm really glad you were able to join in. I didn't think you were going to make it tonight.
Yeah, I just snuck in here for a minute. I'm going to head in and just want to say hello to everybody and keep going to my rehab. And they said I'll keep kicking, I guess.
Yeah, good.
We need you.
Well, we need you around.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to be
Okay,
booking
y'all.
your guys.
They don't want you booking them either, believe me. I got you on that one.
All right, you did. Have a good night, Tom. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good night.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Go
Bye.
Browns. Go Indians.
Show's over.
All right, so anyway, a couple things, Tom, and we'll get into the news, but Tom brought up a couple things, and I want to touch on it. I mentioned the ocean carriers are shifting their sailings from Savannah to Charleston. Christian and Mike, have you guys or anyone in here, have you guys watched or looked at Charleston, looked at the rates this week? Because I haven't. I read that today, and I thought it was notable. But have you guys had any trucks in Charleston? They said load post volumes in the Charleston market already started to rise, as well as rates.
Yeah, I haven't had anyone over there, so I haven't been in that market, but
Yeah, same.
See,
but I'll pull up the tender information for Freight Waves and look at historic versus current next week.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but we don't have anybody down there.
Yeah.
I can pull up the map over in Charleston if you want to see that.
Yeah, throw it up with the port of that compared to the port in Savannah.
Oh yeah, the Savannah is where it gets interesting. So here's Charleston. There's one. Yeah, there's one.
Zoom in a little bit.
That's a dock out there.
Okay, that's Charleston. So there's just a few ships at anchor.
Yeah.
A few in port.
Yep.
Now let's see Savannah. Savannah's the main port, number one.
Check out
volume
Savannah.
port on the
It's
East
looking
Coast.
like how LA was looking about a month and a half ago.
That's
all these guys are out here
at anchor.
Yeah.
So I can see these. I couldn't see the LA ships coming all the way to Florida, but I could see these ships splitting up between Charleston and maybe Florida if they can't get. Well, look at all these ships headed.
Oh yeah,
West Coast.
All these red ones are tankers. That's why they're all
into the Gulf.
Into
going
Texas.
to Texas.
But yeah, you
Go
can
over
go
to
Los Angeles here.
Hey.
These are all just floating out here.
Show the Tampa and Miami port real quick. See what those look like. Because that article said that there was already ships starting to reroute to.
There's one that's
Jacksonville.
That's Jacksonville.
Tampa. There's a couple out there. And then Miami. Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Miami's not too bad.
No, but I could see those ships up there near if that starts to get backed up in Savannah, them splitting off and coming to either Jacksonville actually or Charleston.
It could be some of these that are headed that direction that all have to come down to Panama first.
Panama and then shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, a couple things. Spot rates are pretty much holding steady. I noticed that the reefer load to truck ratio dropped a little, like basically one. It dropped from 12.54 loads to one truck to 11.69 to one. last week nationally, and flatbeds dropped substantially. 54.98 to one truck last week, and it's down to 46.5 to one truck this week, which that's typical. It's seasonal for flatbeds. It's still a lot of loads to a truck. What was fuel surcharge this week? I know it went up.
47.
47. I think that's the highest I've ever seen it.
47.
No. When Zach started, it was
51 or something.
yeah.
52.
Close to it?
51, 52, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but, I think the interesting thing on your DAT, if you look at the month-over-month rates versus the fuel, it's barely a cost justification. I mean, usually when fuel goes up like this, the carriers tend to get a little out of hand and end up pushing that money market. And I'm not sure if it's because we've reached kind of more of a ceiling with rates that they're not going to go up but so high before people wait. But, I expected to see with the drastic increase in fuel that the cent per mile would have been driven up even higher by the market.
Yeah, and it may take there may be a little lag behind it, but that's the first thing I'm going to talk about when I call on the spot market to book a load. Is it gives me more justification of my price. Fuel's so high.
Well, the van loads, the average van rate came down a penny from last week. I think, didn't it?
Yeah,
it
one
did.
penny.
And I noticed it was harder to get decent rates this past week.
Yeah, it was
I had
tight.
most of my guys in the South Midwest was still decent, and I sent some guys over to the West Coast because I got some decent rates going that way. But
Yeah, South seemed to be dropping, and then Texas.
It was a little tougher.
Texas, Dallas.
Oh,
really drying up.
I wanted to ask you guys this: what the fiscal year ends September, right? End of September is the end of the fiscal year. So I noticed this, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this. I was booking with one of our contacts at a major carrier. I don't know if I want to say who they are. I don't know if it matters, but for like the whole month of September, she was knocking it out of the park with the rates I was asking her for. I noticed October 1st, basically, just a drop off, and I'm not booking a whole lot with her because she's not coming up on the rates
I noticed
like
that
she
too,
was.
I know who
and
you're
the
talking
rates
about.
just fell off. Do you think they try to just move once it gets to the end of that fiscal year, they just try to move as much revenue as possible
What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, on the corporate
Definitely can,
side.
and you're pushing it. Yeah.
Because I noticed I was booking all my trucks, basically one broker, because she was giving me the rates I was asking for, pretty much all of September. And then.
So they're just pushing out volume.
Pushing out volume.
Yeah.
The only problem with
just
that
to
is
get
then
the
you
revenue.
start your next year off
Low.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
Well, maybe
and
don't
then
have that
October, they just
rubber
fell
band
off.
effect. She was a little cheap at the beginning of October, so now she's going to have to move stuff again soon. So.
And I just noticed a huge drop, and I started thinking about it. I thought that was the end of the fiscal year, so
I noticed it
I didn't
too
know if
with
that
her.
had a correlation.
Because we could pretty much the all of September, I think we just named our price.
Yeah.
And she took it. But we were booking a lot of freight with her too, so that had the volume was there.
Yeah, normally
Yeah,
on the
but even
corporate
the-
side. Oh.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Normally on the corporate
Yeah.
side, on the end of a fiscal year, it's more on collections than it is on
Oh, okay.
pushing
Get
the
your
freight.
books clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cleaning up the books. But I could see
Yeah,
some
'cause
people
I-
pushing for that last revenue kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed even the ones they have posted on their board, I noticed, because there was like September, I noticed I'd look at loads and I'd see several loads posted at $3 a mile or so. And like I said, I was hitting her high and she was just taking it. Now this year, October hit.
You should give me your number. I'll call in there, add about $500 to every lane that you need to quote, and then you can just come in and just clean up, just clean house.
There you go.
But she's not moving on the rates, and I haven't booked a whole lot with her this month.
Yeah. We've done a little bit with her, but nowhere near like September. Couple notable things. One is Ray is ranked number 1 nationally on our Netrodyne system ranking for the scores.
I mean, I did have to ask the question today, though, Ray. How are you number 1 when you're at home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
That's
how'd that happen?
It's a loophole.
That's
Yeah,
not
I
a fair
Good looking
question.
neighbor.
She did ask the
feel like-
question to me as soon as I told her that.
He went up and down the
However-
highway perfectly.
He did.
That's it.
However,
One
Hey,
time.
Ray
in my
hasn't-
in my defense, I've been out for 7 days.
he he's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
been
man,
out.
7 days.
He's
So
been
it's a
out long. He
perfect
went to the
score.
West Coast, Missouri, and then
Another graduation
back
party.
down, so, but he's got he's got 3 daughters.
Hey.
I mean, your score is phenomenal, Ray. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Lee, I will say I don't want to leave Lee Harrison out there. He's always been up there in the top 10 or so. So Lee's, I forgot what he was today. I think I saw it, but Lee Harrison, great job too. Your scores are great. And I got a few other guys I'll be calling this week, Nate, because I got to get your score up.
So Nikki, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you ever going to have a 2-time driver of the year? Because I feel like Ray checks that all the boxes that we have. And I just thought I'd ask a question while he's on the line.
I never thought about that way, but
Are
maybe
they-
just make Ray like honorary driver
he's-
of the
Of
century.
the decade, yeah.
He's
Yeah, drive.
Hey, we.
keeps
You know
getting
what?
invited to
Get him a
the,
new jacket with his name
We can
spelled.
get his
If
last
I-
name right.
Yeah, I was gonna say if y'all keep inviting me to the
Summit.
agent summit, I'm okay with that. You know, because
he gets some kind of
we gotta-
award every summit.
Yeah.
Every summit he gets
comes to every
something.
summit.
hey, we got to give other people a chance. You know, I'm okay. I'm
T-shirt.
okay with sharing that.
So
agree.
humble. What a humble man.
I agree with him.
That's it.
Spread the love.
I'll just stay home.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll
hey.
drop bad. drop faster. No.
You're just jealous, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray's got 1 win. I mean, I don't have any.
My football picks are going to the
I had two. I
Ray
technically
would've
had
had
two,
two.
but you
He'd
just
have
wanted
been
would've.
leading this whole thing.
Disqualified.
No, he would
Did not qualify because he was
No, you know
late.
what? Since I didn't win, let's get Ray back on here. He's not DQ anymore.
A couple things I noticed, and so I didn't know Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I was even talking to Berkey about it today because he lives up there. It's kind of like the Eau Claire area. I thought they meant Eau Claire, but it's not. Eau Claire's over there by the Minnesota state line, somewhere over there. 3rd largest producers or exporters of potatoes in the country. And so Wisconsin reefer outbound, Eau Claire, Wisconsin market, up $1.19 per mile over last week to $4.37 plus fuel. So you're talking almost $5 a mile average outbound. That means all miles. So, you know, they're averaging $5 a mile almost. I did pull it up today, and it was spot on. It's strong. The only thing that I saw that was cheap coming out of there was going to California, and it wasn't too bad. And I'll give you an idea. So $6,000 to Pompano Beach, $5,500 from Eau Claire to Lake Wales, Florida, $5,000 to Dallas on 1,100 miles, $4,750 to Pottsville, PA. These are 1-and-1s to posted rates. There was a bunch of loads that weren't posted didn't have rates posted. $4,700 to Douglasville, Georgia, on that 1,000-mile run. $4,200 to Aberdeen, Maryland. So don't be afraid to send a reefer to Wisconsin or even the Minnesota area. You can get right out of there with a really good rate.
And those fall off here this month, right? Is that right? Beginning
Yeah,
of
it's a
November?
short season. Yeah, it's short.
Yeah, it's from July to October up there.
Yeah,
Gonna be getting cold.
through. And that was according to the DAT is where I found that information today. It was yesterday's information they gave out. But it should be good for the next few weeks, according to the DAT. And that's about it. Old man winter is coming. You guys got some snow up there in
we did.
Montana, didn't you?
Yeah, we got hit 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to dip down a little at night, but we haven't any snow.
Saw that.
Chain laws are in effect.
Chain laws are in effect, guys. Put your chains on your truck if you haven't already. If you're running west, where they require you to have chains.
Don't send me.
Yeah.
It was a east
I
too.
thought you
now.
wanted to go one more turn to California, Ray.
No, I don't mind going to California, but I don't want to go to the northern part.
Hey, how about Anaconda?
Anaconda, Montana. We sent him, actually.
I know that
Yeah.
he came into Billings.
Oh, by the way, Christian, did you get me a picture of the Goblin Town?
You know, I didn't, but I have a buddy of mine, and he watches the show. So he's an insurance guy, and he watches the show, Casey. And
Yeah,
he said,
Casey.
"Yeah, I'll run on down there and take a picture if you don't have time." So
Come on,
no pressure,
Casey.
man. That's
Bring it. I want to see it. Goblin Town, Virginia. All right, Ian, let's hit the rest of the news and get on to trucking questions with Kumar.
All right, let's. get this all pulled up. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
not on the TV anymore, though.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
So, while we were looking at that port stuff earlier, I zoomed out, and yeah, LA looks real crazy and whatnot. But look what's going on. So all you can see most of these ships are headed east.
Which is going to. the
Look
West
at
Coast.
what's going on over here.
Wow.
Yeah, they got quite a lot of ships moving. I mean, they go all over, but I'm sure a lot of them will be coming to us. I mean, it just, oh man, that's down in Hong Kong.
Joel's in the Marine Corps.
Wow, that's a lot of boats. Anyways, all right, we'll go ahead and get
that's
on to
crazy.
the news. Sure, a few of you guys have seen this out in Oklahoma.
Did see
Auto
that.
carrier
Car
got,
hauler.
yeah.
Stuck on the tracks. He bellied out on the tracks, right?
Mhm.
That's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah,
insane.
he ends
He's
up
walking on
like,
those
oh, yeah,
tracks,
he's right
right?
here. He's telling
See somebody
the
walking.
train to slow down.
Doing a
He's out
great
of the
job.
truck.
Well, that was not smart.
Oof.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Passenger train too.
Yes, that's a scary thing.
So the driver was out of the truck, right?
Yeah, driver's out of the truck. There was
Did you see the one
a few injuries though.
oh yikes.
Wow.
That was one of the ones that was on there. This is all from the fire department. I mean, train's not as damaged like there as I thought it would be. It's a pretty strong train. It did come off the rails slightly onto
Wow.
the
Oh, wow.
onto
Lucky.
the ties. Yeah,
Yeah.
thankfully it didn't
Derail.
Yikes.
any worse than that. And there's actually pictures of inside.
And where was this, Ian?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
There we go.
What were you saying, Nikki?
Well, we had a guy one of our wind blade drivers that recorded a train hitting a wind blade on the truck. And I don't know if anybody
We
saw that.
saw that.
yeah.
That was recently.
That was
Yeah.
actually our driver, our Meadow Lark wind driver that recorded that. It wasn't a
Wow.
Meadow Lark driver that got hit, but
Really?
yeah, he was the one recording it.
That was the one that kind of went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
we
got
had
out of
that
the
on
truck.
the show. I
We
didn't
had
know
that on
that
the
was
show.
him.
Oh yeah, the guy that
them.
videotaped that accident was a Meadow Lark driver.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should have him on the
Wow.
show. He was funny on that video, by the way.
Yeah, let's
Oh.
get him in here.
He was a little shook up. He had to go home for a couple days. I mean, it pretty because he's the one that actually got the driver out of the truck.
Can you, when you get back to Montana, can you call him, see if he can come on the show next week? And
I'll make sure he doesn't use that
Wow.
language, but
yeah, well, we have
it was
air horns.
very,
Yeah.
very panicked. I felt real bad for him. I mean, like I said, he videoed it, and then he's the one that actually pulled the driver out of the truck.
Wow.
So, yeah, we want to hear that
Yeah,
story.
he's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that'd
Wow.
be great.
Hey,
All
did,
right, I'll
did
be
you
on
did you
when we
guys
get
see what
that.
happened to Mark?
No.
Did you okay? So Mark Chavez, he was about to cross a set of railroad tracks, right?
Oh, I
So
did
then-
see this. I saw
Yeah.
the
So the
thing come down.
So he stopped because the train was coming, and mind you, he was nowhere even on top of the tracks. Right? He stopped within well distance, right?
right.
So he stopped because he knew that the train was coming. Lights came on and everything, and that what is that called? That barrier that comes down, that flag
Yeah,
barrier,
crossing
the
on.
guard.
I think I have a
Yeah,
picture of this.
it came down between his tractor and trailer.
It did. Nothing
What?
happened. Nothing
That
happened.
means he was too far up.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was after it,
but
went,
he,
it went
he
up
showed me. Yeah, he
So
showed
Mark
me the
Chavez of
picture.
Landstar.
right here.
He showed me the
Exactly.
picture how far he was, and he wasn't anywhere near the track.
Send it
He
to
was
Matt.
really far away from the tracks, but that thing was set, that barrier that comes down was kind of recessed back, so it went right between his tractor and trailer.
Don't let Stacy listen to this episode.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Like I said, that was Mark Chavez from Landstar.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think it was his fault though, honestly, because I mean,
No, because it went up and he was cleared to drive.
Oh, and so he started
Yeah.
to
And he
take off.
started to go, and then the thing came down on him.
and then it came down
Oh.
again. It went up,
Oh.
then it came down again.
Yeah.
yeah.
While he
Well,
was
then it
across
wasn't.
the
Yeah,
road.
then it wasn't his.
It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't
He's
his
lucky
fault.
it didn't
but
come
he
down
was-
on top of him then.
Of course, that happened to
Straight
Mark,
dude.
of all people.
I know.
Come on, man.
I sent you the picture, Zach. Are you able to? We're
Come
gonna
on,
go
man.
on, but you can see it. And nothing was damaged. He just
That's crazy.
it came back up. But he sent it. It was over the weekend because when I saw it, it was like after the fact, and I called Mark
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Yeah, he wasn't
I'm
anywhere.
at
Yeah,
Applebee's.
his tractor wasn't anywhere near the
Applebee's.
tracks, honestly.
Yeah, no,
He had-
you can see in the picture.
Yeah. That was funny, man.
It's funny that everything's okay.
I'd be crapping my pants. Anyways,
All right, go ahead,
moving
Ian.
on, yeah. Over in Georgia, they had what they called the find of the week or something like that. Someone was trying to pull their monster truck without any permits, so they got hit with unsecured load because they had I don't know what these bricks are, just sitting on there, and then they were I think they were too tall. Yeah, they were too tall and too wide.
Well, you can tell it's going to be over.
I might could get hit a bridge with that thing.
Yeah. So reminds me of the guy here in Ohio who tried to move his house without a permit, and he got stuck on 77. Do you remember that? It was in
Vaguely,
Canton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some big fines right there.
Oh yeah.
No permit, over dimensional, over height, over width.
Yeah, I think that they also said it was overweight, but I don't see how
That officer looks like he's in pretty good shape. He doesn't look too overweight.
Yeah, I think that's some big fines. What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Not that we've ever hit a bridge or anything before, but that's a pretty penny right there.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, let's also check out how cool this truck is. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 train horns.
Yes.
On the rear part of his suspension there. So.
I like his 30-30 brake chambers there. It's nice.
And just what everyone wanted to know about, over in Pennsylvania, 576, they have connected a new part of it. It's a new tollway in Pennsylvania.
Yay!
Yay!
Another road to
it's over west of Pittsburgh.
It doesn't surprise me.
576. Yeah,
They're
it's
going to
a
fix all the roads
13-mile
now. You got a great feeling they're going to fix all the roads.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So what is that, Ian? Is it loop around Pittsburgh on the west side?
It seems like it.
Oh yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it goes up towards the airport. They just added a 13-mile stretch to it. But yeah, more tolls in Pennsylvania.
We know how to avoid that one.
Just don't go to Pennsylvania.
This is something that
Shipping Wars.
Joel was very excited about. They are
I am
bringing
too.
back Shipping Wars.
New episodes coming soon.
Yeah. It was gone for like six years.
It made me feel good.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot different now. Yeah. I wonder if they brought this back because of how many drivers there are now and trying to get.
Well,
people
that
back
shipping
into it.
wars. That shipping wars was back when there wasn't really. They just did like. Was DAT around then? Because they were doing everything.
Yeah, they were.
U-ship.
They just used U-ship, but yeah,
They
DAT
used
was
U-ship.
around.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that was a promotion for a lot of their LTL portion.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Which still
Mark-
gives a
How
free
long
Mark is
ago was
back
that show?
with Snort and Bore Transport. That's Joel's favorite.
That's
there.
right. That was a question for Kumar a while back.
It was. Yeah.
And then we'll get on to some weather stuff. We are supposed to be getting some snow out west. Looks like you might be in the clear, Nikki. But they're supposed to be getting a few inches and a couple feet possibly up in Canada.
For long.
This is over the next 10 days, so watch out, be ready, check the weather near you.
What about what I sent you, Ian?
Oh, we will get there.
Okay.
And then cyclones, nothing really, no disturbances going on out in the Atlantic. There is one down here, down southern part of Mexico or south Mexico, and then Russ sent me one. I didn't even come up on my Hurricane Center list. This is what's called the bomb cyclone. It's when pressure drops like dramatically over a 24-hour period. It's not hurricane crazy, but they are supposed to be getting some 50, 60, possibly 80 mile per hour gust up in the northwest, which isn't super common. I don't think they usually don't get that out there, right, Nikki?
Montana we do.
Yeah, really?
We can get gusts up at 50, yeah.
Okay, but I mean, like they don't have these cyclones very often out on the west coast out there, Pacific Northwest very often.
So it's called a bomb cyclone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I've
the
never heard
pressure
of it before.
drops
Yeah.
so fast. Yeah.
And I saw it this morning in a news feed, and I immediately sent it to Ian.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds cool.
It does.
Doesn't sound very fun to be in.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it's not as bad as a hurricane or any
Okay.
of the ones that we've seen this
Yeah.
year. So, and there we go with the news. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Ian. So, this week, Nikki Bessette, trucking questions with Kumar. Sam had to leave. He texted me. Sam,
Peace.
thank you for coming on. You missed the segment where we needed you, buddy. Nate,
Buddy boy.
Kevin, you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Ray, Jim Mackey.
Yes, sir.
I think I got everybody. Ray, Jim Mackey, Kevin,
Yeah.
Nate. All right. You
Playing
guys
musical
ready?
chairs behind
So who lost? Christian has to pay. We already.
No, Coom won last week.
Kumar won. No, I'm talking about who has to pay
Oh.
if Kumar loses. So Christian, you got Kumar again.
I always
You
go
and
with
Johnny
Kumar.
Fr-
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So
I'm only giving away my kids'
Christian,
college fund,
sorry,
Kumar.
Kumar. This week, Christian lost the football pick'em, and so did Johnny Five. They were the lowest, so they're both contributing to the St. Jude's equally, $20 each. If you lose, if you win, I'll have to contribute 40.
Boom.
So guys, if I lose, drivers, you're chipping in with me.
Okay.
I can just take it out of their settlement.
All
Send
right.
it
Yeah,
to
there
you.
you go.
Will that
Send it
work?
to
The
me.
answers were just right in front of Coom, so he didn't see that.
All
I know
right.
they were
That
just
is
sitting right here too. I hope he didn't read them.
All right.
Okay, so I'm not sure how to do this. So I'm just gonna.
Nikki, just go
Oh,
right
darn.
into
First
question one.
Question one. Who is the interstate highway system named
Truck
after?
driving, long hauling.
Oh,
You can read him the answers.
Okay.
Don't tell
Oh,
him.
I
the
give
an-
him
Just don't tell him the answer.
Don't tell him the
Okay.
right one.
Give them the multiple.
Harry S. Truman,
Don't give them.
Franklin D. Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, Albert Einstein.
Who was the interstate highway system named after?
I'm gonna have to say Roosevelt.
He says Roosevelt.
Okay.
Drivers: Jim Mackey, Ray, Kevin, Nate. Who wants to go
Eisenhower.
first? Mackey says Eisenhower. Ray,
Yeah, I'm saying Eisenhower.
Nate.
Yeah, Eisenhower.
Yeah, Kevin. I don't even need to ask. Mackey says it. They all
Say it.
How Mackey goes. they
Whatever Mackie says, yeah.
Eisenhower late for
So
my
the
lady.
right answer, Nikki, was
Dwight Eisenhower.
way to go, guys. 1-0,
Awesome.
my guys.
Thanks, Mackie. You're the best.
Yeah, thanks, Kumar. Appreciate that. You're the best.
No problem.
Mackey was driving a truck when Eisenhower was president.
Well, maybe he was driving a truck back when this question was too.
Yeah.
All right.
Eisenhower late for
I didn't get that one.
I's an hour late. Like I'm an hour late. That is
Eisenhower.
awesome.
Oh, got
That's
it.
Great. That is great.
Okay, question 2. In 1919, the U.S. Army sent an expedition across the United States to determine how military vehicles would fare on a cross-country trip from East Coast to West Coast, leaving out on July 7th, 1919, from Washington, D.C. How long did it take to reach Presidio?
Presidio. Yeah, that's the
Presidio
Bay
Bay,
Area.
California.
San Francisco. A,
1 week,
B,
3 weeks,
C,
6 weeks,
D.
8 weeks.
That is I almost want to ask you to repeat it.
It's long.
Did-
Want me to read it
That
again?
was like a
Did-
full paragraph.
It's long. It's long. Take it.
I'll take my time this time.
Okay.
Okay. In 1919, the U.S. Army sent an expedition across the United States to determine how military vehicles would fare on a cross-country trip from East Coast to West Coast, leaving out on July 7th, 1919, from Washington, D.C. How long did it take to reach Presidio Bay, California?
Which is San Francisco. So how long did it take them in 1919
Washington.
Washington, D.C. to
California.
basically San Francisco?
In a military vehicle is what they're saying, correct?
1 week. Yeah. 1 week. 3 weeks. 6 weeks. Or 8 weeks.
I'm gonna say 3.
The 80 wasn't there.
Kumar says 3 weeks. Jim Mackey? How was it in 1919 on a cross-country
I'm
trip?
going to say it was 6.
6 weeks, Jim Mackey?
Yep.
Ray?
horse.
Kumar? I'm sorry, Ray.
I actually heard this on the radio. They were talking about this, so I can't remember if it was 3 or 6. So I'm gonna take a guess and say it in 1919, I'm gonna say 6 weeks.
Okay, what do you
But
say? All you got to, one of you guys get it right. Is all you got to do. So
$2 a mile.
Wow,
two
he's
answers.
telling you to
Two
change
answers.
your answer. That's what he's telling you.
Kevin, Nate.
The correct answer is 2 weeks before the Marines would have showed up. How about that? Is that the right answer?
All right.
I was gonna say 8 weeks at first. So I think I'll just stick with that.
You're gonna stick with 8. What about you,
yeah,
Kevin?
I was gonna say 8 weeks, but I was gonna say it first too.
My guys, 2-0.
There you go. Yep. 8 weeks is the answer.
Oh boy.
8 weeks.
Kristen's
Oh
like,
darn,
yeah,
I was
you
wrong.
gave it
and
away.
I did.
And
And I heard about this on the radio just about a week ago, so I didn't remember the date.
I love playing basketball when it's 4-on-1. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of
that air
basketball
horn.
playing 4-on-1.
Right. What was the rate on that?
What was the rate?
Well,
I love it.
Back in 1919, 80, 70,
6
40,
penny.
none of that existed. So
I
Yeah.
think the first penny was 1918.
Four-
wasn't it?
Was there a
Was
toll
it like
rate?
4?
Was there a toll road?
October delivers in.
Was it like 4
Was
cents a
there a
mile?
highway even? Okay,
There was
question
no
number
road.
3. Here's that word I have a hard time with. What is the definition of velocitation?
Velocitation. Kumar's a reader.
gosh. A reader.
Bro,
Oh,
you better not get
answers.
skunked. You got to
A.
get one of these.
A. Measurement of the rate and direction of motion.
B.
Illusions of traveling at a higher rate of speed than actually traveling.
C.
The sudden increase in speed due to downhill gravitational pull and forces.
Or D.
A shower while truck is parked in the fuel aisle.
Oh man.
Velocitation.
You guys got
Velocitation,
this.
hurry.
These are great questions.
I don't like
I don't know who did them, but these are great
Grab a
questions.
towel on one.
Joel actually did these. I helped
Thank
with
you.
one of them.
Okay.
That's
So-
great.
I think
A measurement. Oh,
I
so
told you I read
A.
the
A
email,
measurement. Velocitation. A measurement of the rate and direction of motion. B. Illusions of traveling at a higher rate of speed than actually traveling. C. The sudden increase in speed due to downhill gravitational pull and forces. Or D. A shower while your truck is parked in the fuel aisle.
I'm gonna say C confidently.
C. Confidently. All right. Jamal,
Fellas?
Ray, Kevin, Nate. Anyone want to go first? Got an
That
idea?
means either.
Velocity.
I'll go with B, I guess. I'll go with B. I don't know.
B is illusions of traveling at a higher rate of speed than actually
Yeah.
traveling. What do you say?
I'll just go with that. I don't know the answer.
You know, when you've
Kevin?
been
I'll
doing it all
go
day
with
and suddenly you're doing
I'll
it.
go with
go.
going downhill.
Going downhill, Kevin says. C, the sudden increase in speed due to downhill gravitational pull and forces. Jim Mackey.
I'm going to have to go with Ray on this one. Say
B, illusions of traveling at a higher rate.
Are you
speed
sure you
than-
trust me, Mackie?
What about you, Kev? Or Nate?
Well,
Nathan
I
answered.
answered.
Can change your answers.
I don't know what to go with. I'm gonna go with B.
B. Guys got it.
Yeah.
B.
Something they
B?
should have too. Just the illusion of
Yeah.
traveling fast.
Right. You'll have
That's what they should have.
better
You
camera
guys should
scores.
remember this word.
The delusion of traveling faster.
That's
So
how Ray
I was
keeps
right.
his score up.
So
Yeah, Ray, you were right.
It's 3-0. Looks like Christian's giving back some money.
This is horrible.
That's a lucky. Yeah.
If
All
CJ,
right.
if you're watching, there goes your college fund. Thanks, Kumar.
That's all right. He's working on a fishing career anyway.
That's it.
You gotta grow your beard.
No joke. That's true.
All right. Question 4, Kumar.
Bill
All
Dance.
right. What truck stop chain is the oldest? A.
Oh, boy.
Loves. I'm not. I caught that, Joel. Thanks.
Joel's just looking out.
Don't say the year.
B. TA. C. Pilot. D. Petro.
What truck stop chain is the oldest, Kumar?
Wait, whoa! Before he answers that, now are we? Okay, so we know that back in the day, TA and the Petro used to be separate entities, and so was the Flying J pilot. So are we talking about with today's big names, or
We're
what
talking
going
about
back?
separate, yeah.
Who was the oldest?
Okay,
Separate.
back in the day.
The
Back in the
Loves.
day. Okay.
Yep.
A is Loves, Kumar. B is the TA. C is the pilot, and D is Petro. Which one's the oldest?
B.
B, TA?
TA.
Okay.
Yep.
And for $100,000, Kumar, what year was the TA? No.
For 1 Bitcoin.
For 1 Bitcoin.
For 1 Bitcoin.
Ray, Nate, Kevin, Mackie, who wants a shot at this?
Not Mackie.
What truck stop chain is the oldest? A is Love's, B is TA, C is Pilot,
I'll take.
D is
I'm
Pepsi.
gonna go with the TA.
I'm waiting on Mackie to answer.
Nope.
Mackie's got a fair shot.
He's
at
muted.
this.
Hey, can I get the Bitcoin if I get the year right?
We'll see. We'll get
Okay.
you a
Well,
Dogecoin. The Dogecoin.
I'll take TA.
He's gonna say.
I'm
TA.
gonna go
What
with
did Kumar
petrol.
say
I'm
again?
gonna go with
I said
petrol.
TA.
He said the TA.
What do you say, Mackie?
The TA.
He was there at the grand
TA.
opening, so
So if
He might have been there at the grand opening, but
well, Nikki, let him know. No, what's the right answer?
Actually, the right answer is Love's.
Yeah, it was beer then.
1964.
Wow.
you got
Really?
And you know what? I even knew that answer.
She did. She
I did know
I
that
did
answer.
guess that.
She said it here in the office today.
I wouldn't have said petrol if I knew.
So since
I
you
never
guys
would've-
all
I never
lost, you
would've
got to
guessed
send
those.
me a Bitcoin.
Or me.
Or Nikki.
let me go
for
mine
taking
one.
these questions.
I'll get right.
Kumar, I'd really love if you could answer one right.
oh, that's good.
So we got one bonus question for you.
And Russ is going to sing it for
Nikki
you.
agreed to sing. We're
Also,
gonna,
I don't even know what the answer is.
we got a little choir going here.
Let's have Russ and
I know what the
Joel.
answer is. I
Oh,
wrote
you-
this question.
Okay, well, it wasn't on
Yeah.
the sheet.
Yeah, it's not on the sheet.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Do you have the notes? I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca road. Then along came a semi with a high canvas covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac, with me you can ride. What kind of trailer did this driver pull? A reefer?
Are you going to tell them who sang the song, or do they get to know who sang the song?
This is Johnny Cash.
What color
and
shoes did he
it's,
have on?
I've been everywhere, man. And what kind of trailer did this driver pull, Kumar?
Can we give him a hint?
I'll sing it again to you. A reefer, a dry van, a wiggle wagon, or a flat or step deck. I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca
That
road.
was a good hint.
Then along came a semi with a high canvas covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac, with me you can ride.
I feel like it cut off too early there.
What are
What kind of trailer was this driver pulling in the song? by
What kind of
Johnny
CB
Cash?
did he have?
I've been everywhere, man.
Can you repeat the answers one more time?
Was it a
Just
reefer?
sing it one time slowly for him. Really slowly, I'm sure.
There's one word you just really got to focus
You
on.
just got to focus on one word.
Was it
Kumar.
a reefer? Was it a dry van? Was it a wiggle wagon? Or was it a flat or step deck?
I'll go Wiggle Wagon.
Those wiggle wagons. Kevin, Nate, Mackie, Ray.
We'll go with
It's a
flatbed.
permanent load.
There you go. All I needed was one. Kumar didn't get anything right.
All right, that's the
this week.
show.
Wow.
So
I
John-
won last week. so-
Johnny Five and Christian have to pay. It was a flat or step, Kumar, not the wiggle wagon.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just the
threw
high
you off.
canvas
You're also
covered
fired
load.
if you couldn't figure that out.
The wiggle wagon, if you remember, it was one of our first questions with
It was the first
Kumar.
question.
I can't remember that one.
I don't
anymore.
remember exactly what the question was, but
Yep.
a wiggle wagon is a combination trailer of like you'll see them on the
Combination.
turnpike, like roadway or some of those trucks,
Yellow.
dry vans.
YRC.
Yeah, YRC.
Typically 28-foot trailers.
Yeah.
Remember
And
that
they'll have two
truck
or
that
three
almost hit me
together.
with the two trailers when we were going to Indiana?
Yeah. Was that
Yeah.
a Wiggle Wagon?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. So, Doty, have you seen Dog the Bounty Hunter down there in Florida looking for?
He's been off the case for like 3 weeks now.
He hurt his ankle, but he said he was working from Colorado.
Oh, thank God.
They had breaking
What
news
does
on
he
that
have?
case today.
Did they? What was it?
Yeah, they found
think they
body
found-
parts.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
talking about that.
Yeah.
At the campsite.
They found body parts.
His parents
They
found
His parents found it. I
conveniently
thought.
found
Yes.
Oh, wow.
bones or body parts. Yeah. After
Whose
they-
body parts?
I
They
don't
already-
know.
They don't know yet. You should probably go check it out since you're down there.
Go see what's up.
Yeah, well, I'm curious because they found. They found the girl a couple weeks ago. So,
Yeah, these weren't her body parts.
No, this
She
is
was
down in
found
Florida.
Wyoming. This is in Florida.
yeah, maybe her parents got a hold of them first.
So I don't know what the Florida man. I saw it was one thing, Mike. Zach said it covered everything. So
Oh, yeah. I didn't even look at how it reads either, so.
Could I interject
Probably
with
makes no
some
sense.
kind
Yeah.
of Florida news?
Yeah.
Can I screen share
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
he had something. Let's do it.
Let's see. Let me know when you guys see what I'm looking at.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Wait, that's me.
It looks like Zach.
That's me 3 years ago.
We had
put a
Florida
mustache on that.
So we had Florida man the other week that had the bus driver that was caught DUI. Is that right?
Yeah.
And this is in my county, Bedford County, Virginia. School
That
bus
was
driver.
Ohio that I read.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It
It was
was.
Florida man reading
Ohio
Ohio.
man.
That's great. That's right. But this is Bedford County, Virginia. So the funny thing is she picked up the students in her personal vehicle that morning. And that's what parents said, that she thought she was under the influence. Come to find out that she said that she was running late. So that's the reason she picked them up. But
So
I
she
know you
didn't
guys
even take the school bus.
They must.
I guess she picked them up and probably brought them to the school bus. I have no idea. But
Oh, wow.
it's,
Oh, boy.
I know you guys made fun of us for putting fuel in our grocery bags when fuel was running out, but I think this tops the putting fuel in trash bags.
You live in a small town when the bus driver can show up in her car and pick you
Fit
up.
that many kids.
And you let your kids go.
Yeah, and they're like, okay.
That's funny.
I won't talk about science class in Florida being meth labs. I'll leave that out of it. We'll just move right along.
So what do you got, Mike? What happened down there in Florida this week?
Let's see. I didn't read this yet either, so.
Oh, God. That'll be even better.
Mouth diarrhea.
By this
Florida
time,
man
nothing surprises him.
Florida man steals truck driver's keys. Evades police by driving stolen tractor trailer down the highway in wrong direction. Shortly before 12:30, troopers responded to the Maryland House Travel Plaza. Maryland House Travel Plaza for a reported theft and found a person who told police his jacket and keys were stolen while inside the plaza. While the victim was informing police of the theft, police were advised of the tractor trailer exiting the travel plaza on the wrong side. The tractor trailer was traveling south in the northbound lanes of I-95, driving against traffic. After approximately 3 miles, police say the 37-year-old Maurice Cooper stopped the tractor trailer on the fast shoulder in an active work zone where several highway workers were conducting road work. A trooper then exited his vehicle in an effort to make contact with the driver and climbed to the passenger side step of the tractor trailer. Through an open passenger side window, the trooper told the driver to shift the truck in the park and hand over his keys. In response, the driver accelerated into the northbound lanes of I-95, again traveling south against northbound traffic. The trooper continued to yell at the driver to stop, but he refused. As the driver continued to accelerate, the trooper was subsequently thrown from the truck onto the highway. Cooper faces the following charges: attempted second-degree murder, first and second-degree assault, assault of a law enforcement officer, theft, and other related traffic charges.
Just another day in Florida.
That's it.
Was
There
he
is
pulling
another
That was
one.
in Maryland, though. That was a Florida dude in Maryland.
Oh, was he pulling a wiggle wagon?
Oh, was it a Florida? Oh,
Yeah,
Florida
that's why
man.
it's
Oh, okay, because
Travel Plaza.
yeah,
on probation?
I saw
So
the
did he-
Maryland Travel
did this
Plaza.
guy-
It threw me off.
Was it an automatic? Did he have a CDL? Did he?
Yeah,
I, have
I want to
so
know
many
what.
questions.
Me too. What company
can,
was it?
This, yeah. Let me see what's up here. There's
Well, he
so
told him
many
to shift
unanswered
the,
questions.
yeah,
shift
that's
the
it.
truck into park.
What jail did he go to? Was it that place that you've been to, Mike?
Pinellas County.
Yeah.
Let's see. There is one more. Florida man steals a Nissan after breaking into a home, smashes into an airport fence, then steals an F-150, drives it to a helicopter, and attempts to steal that too.
This
Wow.
is some
That's
James
like
Bond.
a movie. I was
yeah,
gonna say.
that's
I
like
feel like
Grand
that's
Theft Auto.
Yeah,
Right
that's
out of
the
the
Grand Theft Auto right there.
Vice edition.
Yeah.
So he stole a Nissan after breaking into a home. He smashed through an airport fence, stole an F-150, and drove to a helicopter and tried to steal that. I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
Apparently
Can
he
a
got
Nissan
into
really?
the trailer or
A
the
Nissan.
helicopter and tried to take off, and they got him out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, he just started pressing buttons, and it,
He,
Oh,
wow.
good
Get
God.
the rotors going on the helicopter.
Can you imagine if he would have been able to take off?
Wow. Totally sounds like a movie.
He
The
was
Nissan
arrested.
through a fence.
It was a
confuses
Nissan
me.
Sentra.
Okay. I'm just saying.
It's a
Yeah.
really small fence.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, Doty, is that it on the Florida man? I like that.
That's all the Florida man stuff.
I like that. High crimes, high espionage, Florida man story. Cool. Christian, you got anything else?
Let's see here. I had something as far as the steer tire goes. We had a driver stop by, and I looked at one of his steer tires. He just put it on a couple weeks back at McCarthy Tire. Sorry about that. Muted you. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. So the Bridgestone rep came by and took a look. It was an R284. It's an Ecotopia steer tire. And the tire has some, and we just replaced them because of the same issue. There was a recall on it between 20 to 22 in Freightliners because they said the air dam made the tire get too hot and it could explode or come apart. It wasn't what was happening. It was peeling off the edge. It's a very economic tire. But, you know, just looking at it, if you just kind of look over your steer tires and make sure you have the right tread depth, you know, you might miss something like this. But it was funny because the edges started to peel. Like you could peel it up almost like you're getting down to the metal. And so they took them off. They were cool. They credited it back and saying, hey, and they put a brand new set of tires, not that set of tires. We didn't use the 284s anymore. I think it was the R291s, which is a less economic, fuel efficient tire, but a more hardy tire.
So was the tire was a recall?
There were recalls. They said that this was not part of the recall, but if you're running those R284s, you'll see the I forgot what they call them, like the defensive strips, the small little braids on the outside. They'll start to pop off, almost like those dots, the dot candy on a piece of paper, and they'll start to go missing like teeth, and then all of a sudden they'll start to tear open. So I know they're saying it's an isolated incident, but it happened to two set of tires that we were running. So just a heads up, if you are running that R284 or you drive a Freightliner between 20 and 22, there was a recall on like 4,000 vehicles. But, you know, it's scary because it's a steer tire, and that's, you know, it drives the vehicle. Other than that, I know, what's that?
There was that one recall that, Ian, you went over. I forget what it was. It had something to do with the steering.
Yeah, steering linkage.
Linkage, yeah. On the Freightliner. I don't remember what year, but Mike, you mentioned it too before on the show.
Yeah, the nut was coming off.
That was tens of thousands or 100,000 trucks.
Yeah, it was over 100,000 trucks.
Yeah, it was crazy. So if you have a Freightliner, you might want to check your recalls.
And I'm dying to get a Cliff update. I have that note here. I'm not sure if that's going to be this week or not.
I'll give you the Cliff update. So since my cat was kidnapped, the Mustachio, better known, or Mr. Mustachio.
Mr. Mustache.
Is his name. Well, he goes by Mustachio. I should have brought a picture, but I didn't. I'll put it up next week. Or Matt can throw it up. He's doing great. He's in the house. He's not went outside with the dogs. He's getting fat because Tina and I are giving him a ton of wet food, so it keeps him from going near the door when we let the dogs in and out. But he's safe. 2 weeks now. He's been in the house. Nikki, my cat, ran out, and there's a neighbor that doesn't like cats, and he trapped him, and I had to go stop him on his mower, and yeah, it was a whole thing. But he's doing great. Thanks for asking, Christian.
Yeah,
keep him in the house.
Good. I was also asking for an update with Cliff, but that's different. Well, that's probably a different episode.
Good job, Russ. I think everybody gave me their opinion. I got text for a week after that of what they would do. I asked on the show what people would do, and I didn't do anything. I know what I wanted to do. Tina wanted to do a few things too, and I told her the other day. I said, aren't you glad that I didn't rip him off the mower? That I didn't own him. I didn't go to jail. That all those things that we still have to live here. And it's it sucks, but it is what it is. Tina did every time she goes by his house, if she sees him out, she has a face that she likes to give him and a hand gesture. So that's her. I can't stop her.
It's not this hand gesture.
It's definitely not that one. But he turns and looks away. He doesn't want any trouble, and quite frankly, I don't either.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. If there is another incident, I will handle it differently. I will tell you that.
You should just call some other people. Keep yourself out of it.
I've let a lot of people in the city know. So it's not like I haven't put it out there.
Good.
It's just, yeah. My mom was asking me about it, and I'm like, man, 20 years ago, even 15, 20 years ago, I would have been calling my mom to get me out of jail. But you know, I'm glad I've grown up and that didn't happen. And yeah, it was not easy. But anyway, Ian, Nikki Bessette, thanks for being in with us
Thanks for
on the
having me.
show. It was great. Kumar, got some big news coming up with Kumar here. We're going to hold it out for a few more weeks before we let everybody know. But with that, Mike Doty,
Going
you got
on
anything
tour.
else?
That's the big news.
Kumar's
Yeah, we're
going
doing
on
a
tour.
live show. Come out to it.
And apparently I'm paying for it because you can't win anymore.
Yes,
Oh,
you
speaking
are.
of winning, thank you so much, CJ. And I know I sent you a video, Russ. CJ is super excited. I mean, it's Christmas, and
That's
we've
great.
got a trip planned, and I think he's going to wear his GoPro, so this way we can upload a video
cool.
of him walking through on his shopping spree to Bass Pro. So
Nice.
thanks a lot
On
for
the show.
Talkin Truckin for hosting that, guys.
Yeah.
That's made his day
Great.
and week.
And everybody remember, we're doing a bunch of different things for St. Jude's. It's mainly the Kumar questions. But what a great charity. We're going to donate the money right before Christmas. And I think, you know, I'm going to probably pledge something other than what I do on the show. So anybody else that wants to do that, we don't, you know, you can let me know. We've got plenty of time. It's a few months before the holidays. We'll do it probably early December. And we'll make a donation from the show to St. Jude's, so keep that in mind. And a friend of mine that owns the Gator drive-thru, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, Mike, he watches the show, and he texted me over the weekend. He said, you know, I don't want to be in the beard contest. He goes, but I want to donate to the St. Jude's, and I thought that was really cool. And I said, actually, you don't have to be in the beard contest to do that. So you can. He goes, well, count me in for a $125 donation to the Talkin Truckin St. Jude's donation. So thanks again, Mike from the Gator drive-thru. Truckworx Kenworth of Dothan, Alabama. Over-the-road apparel, work clothes for the modern-day trucker. Prime Wellness and Performance in San Antonio, Texas. Al's Quality Market in Barberton, Ohio. The Gator drive-thru. Thank everybody. Thanks all you guys, and be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And if no one else has anything, go Browns, go Indians, and go
Broncos.
Guardians.
Go. Oh, I said Indians
Oh,
again.
I stopped the recording.
That's okay.
St. Jude's Hospital.